Welcome back, guys. So I actually decided to split the tutorial again in a third part because we were actually running already for 35 minutes, so I decided to split it. Okay, so basically we have the first part with the basic setting, then the eyeLid, the main eyeLid setup in the second part, and then here a more advanced feature. What is this feature? Well, it's pretty simple. It's what is called the smart blink. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but the smart blink is basically for let your eye going to blink no matter where your lids are. Okay, in this case it's really simple because we have curves, so we can use some deformers to move the curve whatever we want, so no matter what. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a curve that is going to be somewhere between the higher and the lower main curve. Okay, and we actually have a control to decide how high and low, and then we will use this curve as a target for our lids. So both lids are going to match this curve and sealing perfectly the eyes. Okay, now let's get right to it. So what we need to do first, we select, actually let's make some cleaning so it's easier to see stuff. So this technique is not that complicated, okay, but we need to be careful because we're going to have already quite a bit of deformers, so we're going to add some more. So we need to be sure what we select, okay, the order and everything, okay. So let's be really careful and rename stuff carefully. Okay, now we need a target for a higher curve. So let's duplicate the up lid high and let's rename that with eyeLid blink, something like that. Let's work. Okay, so now we're going to create a blend shape. Now sorry, I duplicate the high and actually need to duplicate the low. My bad, I'm sorry guys. So let's change that to low, eyeLid low to eyeLid blink, and let's remove up, so just lid blink. Okay. So now I'm going to set the eyeLid low, downlid low, and the target, and we create a blend shape. Okay, so now we have control over this curve. You see it's blending between one and the other. Okay, so we can decide how high or low our target is going to be. So we need to control those values really quick. So let's do that. Let's fire up the node editor because that's really quick to set up. Oh, let's rename the blend shape. So that's going to be the mid or the target smart blink blend shape. Okay, so let's select the bad guy here. Next select control here. The reason why I selected the control because now we are going to, so I just loaded the, so you can see I loaded the stuff in the node editor. This one is our control and this one is our blend shape, our target. So let's add quickly an attribute on our control which is called smart blink 8. So it's going to be a float, minimum of 0, maximum of 1. There we go. So now what we need is actually one influence. So the first influence here is the 1, the other one has to be to 0, and then while this one decrease, the other one increase. Okay, so we're going to do that by first, for the first weight we connect directly our smart blink 8 attribute, so no problem. And then we're going to use a reverse node that does exactly what we want. So if we plug in smart blink 8, which actually now is 0, is gonna give out a value of 1. So let's see that. Wait, 0. So here we have a value of 1. Instead, when we start blending and we give a value of 1, it will give us back a value of 0. And of course, if we are halfway, like for example 0.5, is going to give us back an average, so 0.5, 0.5. So now if we check here, we have our curve moving correctly between one target and the other. Okay, so now what we need to have is a target, okay, from the high curve and the up high curve and the down low curve. Okay, so basically we get both high resolution curve, we duplicate them, and those are going to be the target for our blend shape. And later you will see why we need a blend shape, but for now let's just do that. So let's select both the high curve, the up and the lower, and let's rename that, so blink. Let's get rid of the high and let's set that blink. There we go. So we're going to use a wire to control those. So let's put the first one, so the smart blink height to 1, so we are high on the eye, and we're going to use the wire. So let's select the driver, target, let's isolate the selection, because we need to see something particular here, and I'm going to show you what. So let's create the wire first of all. So select the target, which actually this one, eyeLid blink, and select the driver. Okay, now we need to be careful about an attribute, the scale. So what happens if we kill the scale? Our curve doesn't have any offset to the target. It's going to match perfectly. This one is going to be easier to see on the lower curve. So let's go create the wire on the lower curve. So select the target, select the lower, but we actually need to move our curve down to create the wire correctly, like that. So select the down curve, the target, isolate the selection. So now let's create the wire again. So target and source. So now look here, we have a really jaggy line here. Okay, so it's not following perfectly. What happened now, if we kill the scale, this offset is going away. Look here. Here we go. So now we have both curves matching perfectly the smart blink curve. So we know exactly we're going to hit that position no matter what. Pretty cool, right? Okay, cool. So now let's rename quickly the wires we created. So L I up blink, oops, wire. Let's do the same for wire 4, up to down. Here we go. So now what we're going to do is to create a blend shape between this target to our higher final curve. Okay, so this curve has already a wire on it. Okay, if we check it, we have a wire, eyeLid high wire. Okay, we want, no matter what, always going to hit our target, and we use a blend shape for that. Why? The reason why, if we put the blend shape at the end of the chain, so it's the last that has to be computed, no matter where you are, the blend shape is going to hit that position. Okay, because we have a live blend shape. So basically our target is always going to be connected. So no matter where we move the target, our blend shape is always updated, and the blend shape is going to be computed as a last. So it's going to override everything we have before. So the wire that controls our curve is going to be overridden by the blend shape. Okay, that's exactly what we want. So no matter where we are always going to blink. Okay, so let's create that. Here, let's select, we need to be very careful when we select here. Let's select the eyeLid blink and the eyeLid high and create the blend shape. Okay, so you see now our curve is going to match there. But what happens if we raise the curve and then we say, okay, now I want to blink? You see, there is an offset because our blend shape is getting computed before the wire, so we need to change the order of deformation. So we're going to do that by going to all inputs, and we bring the blend shape or the wire under the blend shape like that, you see. So now no matter where we are, we always hit the target, see. So blend shape here, we're always going to hit the target, and that's exactly what we want. So let's quickly do the same for the upper curve, the lower curve, sorry, and then we are going to make some cleaning, connecting attributes, and so on. So let's select the down link blink is our target, and then our final curve, and let's create blend shape. So now again, you see we're going to blink perfectly, but again we need to change our deformation order, so the blend shape has to be the last one. So rename that really quick, L down lid blink BLN blend shape. So let's rename the eyelid curve, sorry, the eyelid, the upper blend shape. Sorry, I can trick myself with the names. There we go. So we're pretty much done, guys. We just need to do some cleaning, connecting attributes. Okay, so let's add an attribute for the smart blink. So add attribute smart blink. It's going to be a float between 0, oops, wrong field, between 0 and 1. And now we're going to connect this attribute to the blend shape value, to the blend shape weight. So let's move this really quick out of the way. We need to get the blend shape. Here we go. So select it, and let's load it here. So smart blink, here we go, to the weight. Now we do the same with the lower control, and we need the other blend shape. There we go. So smart blink to the weight. Okay, so now select both controls and we say smart blink, we are gonna always blink, and we can of course change the blink height. So you see, no matter where the blink height, we are always going to blink, you see, like that. Pretty cool, right? So let's leave the blink height somewhere low like that, so it's a little bit more realistic. There we go. Okay, so let's check everything works. We have the controls. Now control doesn't rotate. I would like this one to move down here or something, you know? When I rotate, we actually made a point constraint, right? You know what? Let's go quickly and change that to a parent constraint, and let's see what happens. So let's go down, let's go, oops, I actually need to go left, and we have the point constraint. Or you can actually set it from the outline here. Let's delete that. So what happened now if we create a point constraint? It should give us the effect we want. Yeah. So now this effect is a bit more soft that if it's done by parenting our control under the mid control, okay? But the animators can always go there and say, I want it to be lower, and fix it, you know? So let's do the same for the other. So let's select all three, and then let's walk up left, and we see we select the point constraint. So once you get used to the peak walk in Maya, it's pretty useful. You can work quite fast. So you see now we don't have point constraint anymore. So let's create parent constraint as we did before. Constraint, and constrain. So we have the same behavior as before, but we can also rotate the eyelids. Okay. So let's quickly save that. You never know. Maya likes to crash from time to time. And let's see how much mess we have here. Everything looks like working. Perfect. So let's clean up the mess here. So let's group all the bones like this one, and let's call it I bones. P. This is the center. We don't need it anymore. We can get rid of that. We need the up vector. It's always needed because otherwise our joints are going to twist. So we need to keep that. Usually you can parent that under the head control, so it's following and stay in the correct place. So those are the curves. So let's create a rig. Let's just leave out the controls. Let's group, and it's going to be Li rig. Alright, let's capitalize that. Oops. And then at the end, you can group it everything under I or IGLP. I can't spell anymore. Come on. There we go. So that's our final setup. And let's make some cleaning. So let's add show rig boolean attribute. There we go. And let's connect this group here. So this is the target, this is the source, show rig, visibility. There we go. So that's our final result. See, almost an hour of work just for some controls. Just kidding. Okay, what we can do now is try to quickly skin that and see what's the result we get. Okay, so it's going to be a really rough and really quick skin, but at least you get an idea. Let me make some space here. Let's see if my tablet works. Yes, it works. Okay, so we need to see first of all the skeleton. So we can show the rig, but we might want to add some other stuff. You know what? Let's split up this attribute here into show bones and show rig. So show rig we have it already, and then add attribute show bone like that. So let's kill the connection here. No delete selected, delete break connection. Here we go. So we are going to connect the show rig attribute. Show rig, where is it? Show rig to the up vector to the aim locators and the curves. Then the bone, show bone instead to the bones group. There we go. So let's go to the root, show rig to 0 and show bone to 1. So we actually see the bones. Okay. So let's create a 0 bones. So actually, so like a head bone. Let's create it somewhere. I don't know, here. It doesn't really matter. We are not going to move that. So 0 GT that. Now we need to select. We are not using this bone to skin, but the child. Okay, so we select all the bones and pick walk down. Select the 0 joint, and then we're going to bind skin. Smooth bind. So that's the default skinning. Yeah, it's moving way too much stuff. So we need to fix that. Now you can see already the result on the eyelid is pretty good. Of course, here is moving way too much stuff. So let's go. Let's jump right in and let's do some quick skinning. There we go. So where is our zero joint? It actually has no influence. How bad. So replace the value of 1. Actually, what I'm going to do, something, let's see, yes. So we are going to select the loop and increase the selection. Then we convert the vertex with Ctrl F9 and we're going to float that. So float it to 1. Okay. So that's already looking better. So now what we're going to do, since it's really rough skinning, I'm just going to smooth out a lot. And I'm going to use the TF Smooth Skin plugin, actually script, which is really good. So if you have to smooth out stuff, you see, it's really good. So it can let us to have some quick feedback right off the back. Okay, something like that. So let's see when we move now. Ooh, wrong one. I don't want to select the bone. There we go. You can actually hide the bones for now. Show joints. Let's see. That's our cartoony setup. So remember, this is a really quick skinning, so it can be done way better. So let's do the same for the low lid. We don't have much polygons on the low lid. If you actually want to rig a mesh like that, you might want to add an extra loop here. Now I'm not going to pull down that too much, otherwise we lose definition on the edge. Anyway, that's, as I said before, it's just a quick test. So just to see you guys, to show you guys what the final result we get. Okay, here we go. So you can also, of course, move the corner up and down, so you can get some crazy shape there. And so now let's see, we have a really open eye. So let's move it, so create a nicer shape, something like that. Really like shocked eye. And then let's say I want to smart blink. Okay, and we're going to smart blink. So let's select smart blink, and you see our eye is going to match. Here we might have to fix a little bit the skin weights, but anyway, we are going always to blink, and we can even change, as I said before, the height. See, and you still also have control over that, because the target curve is actually being controlled by those controls. So you can zip the eye and still move everything around. So that's really cool. Okay. So as I said before, this kind of setup works really well when the modeler tries to match the loops from high to low. If that doesn't work, always work, you see, you might still have a little bit of gap here. Okay, if that is going to be visible, you see, what you can do, it's allow to push a little bit over the blend shapes to the target, or then in the finaling, when you have when the animation is done, you can actually provide some controls for each of our bone, so it's easy for the guy that does the finaling to quickly pull up where it's visible, and that's it. Or of course you can still blink manually. So let's select those. So if it's really a close-up shot, you can still blink manually, like that. So you see, yeah, I see something here. You just grab the correct control, you see, and push it down. Here it's just a matter of skinning. So to fix the skin in there, you see, so you have really control over what you're doing. So you can create a crazy mad shape here. See, it looks pretty mad to me. Something like that, you see, you have a really flexible control over that. So you can do whatever you want. Okay, so beware of one thing. Okay, that's not the final setup. Okay, but I'm just stopping here the tutorial because it's going over way too long. So this is how you read the eyelid. On top of that, you can also add a fleshy eye, but that's really simple. You can use a centering key or whatever you want. So a fleshy eye, what you can do, as I said before, you can add a lattice over the eye or a joint to scale the wall set, to scale and squash the eye, and you can do crazy stuff. Okay, so there is a lot that can be done still, but so that's a really good cartoony eyelid setup. So I hope you liked the tutorial. Any comment, any feedback is more than welcome. So have fun. Actually, before I leave, I don't want to leave the controls like that, because here we don't need, for example, all this stuff doesn't need to be visible. We only need lock and hide select, so we only need the translation. On this, we don't need the scale and the visibility. So let's hide that. Okay, so now it's a bit more clean. So this one can rotate. Cool. This one rotates as well. Okay, so that's the setup, guys. Of course, I'm going to provide you, let's put this one in the rig as well. I'm going to provide to you the file and all the step I saved, so you can have it and have a look to that. Okay, so have fun with the iRig, guys. Bye bye.